All right, friends, we are visiting the cemetery of La Recoleta. Of course, this is not an ordinary cemetery, as you can see. Yeah, it looks like a. This look like a street. It's built like a small town for the dead. Oh, right here are buried some of the most iconic people of Argentina. Not sure what it is that Evita Perón is buried, but she's here. Former President Raúl Alfonsín is also here, and some other well-known Argentinians. So we'll see. We'll find out later. All right. See you in a while.
¿Esto sabes lo que son?
Caminando, walking through the streets. Streets of La Recoleta Cemetery. Some are in really great shape, well kept. Some could use some maintenance. From what I learned so far, I understand that some of this mausoleus scripts have a significant historic value. So the government of Argentina chooses to pay for the maintenance. I don't think that many people here has relatives, close relatives that are alive. As you can see there, 1800, and look at that. I'm gonna walk the way just to see what is through this side streets. Kind of a. Looks like a. Looks like a. Different. 1859. Make it this a turn here. This thought of being a museum for the dead. Oop. I'm gonna go back to the main entrance because I forgot to get a map so I could sort of visit the most prominent dead folks in this place. The ones sleeping forever, like we will one day. This one is for the Roca family, not the Rocha family, the Roca family, without H. ¿Qué les parece? Chévere, ¿no? Bueno.
start looking like this. Actually, by the end of that century, in the late 19th century, Argentina was becoming a very, very wealthy country back then with the countryside exportations. The aristocracy, the old money families, they moved to the north of the city. They built the neighborhood of Recoleta. Outside the walls, there's the neighborhood of Recoleta where there's a lot of things to see. And there's French chateaus and mansions of the Argentine aristocracy in the beginning of the 1900s. And these people that were very posh and fancy, they considered that they had something money couldn't pay for, a political capital that goes beyond money. They were part of the patriotic elites that founded Argentina, the sons of the founding fathers. You know, they had historic blood. And this is something that is more important than just being rich, because it joins you in society in a different way. And at that time, in 1871, took place the plague of yellow fever in the city. It affected the neighborhoods of San Telmo in the south, but many of the people with money are already here. It killed 10% of the population of the city, so the city is forced to open another cemetery that is 25 times larger than this one, and where tourism go. It's called the cemetery of Chacarita, by the way. So it's like they start making this division. Okay, the people go to Chacarita, the new cemetery is for the new Buenos Aires. We, the aristocracy who belong to the foundational families of the country, that belong to the old Buenos Aires of the post-colonial times where our country was born, we are buried in Recoleta. Because having a grave here starts becoming a great social prestige. What you find here is, I mean, many tour guides say it's a cemetery for the rich, but that's wrong because you don't see any Cuba plays or rock stars here. What you find is half of our expression, city mayors, war heroes, people of that type. It's a political cemetery. It's people that forced the power on the history of the Argentine state. And well, the most famous politician buried here is actually Eva Perón. We're going to talk about Evita. If I don't show Evita, no one joins this store actually. So we're going to see Evita Perón later. But so it's democratic, and it could be in a legal limbo with families fighting or suing, or brothers who hate each other and no one wants to pay for their grandpa's grave. It's a great problem that they're having here. So what do they do? Because you know, the biggest problem is people don't go to cemeteries anymore. And they don't care about their family grave, putting flowers, praying, they don't care about anything. Not like back in the day. So what they do now, they charge an interest fee for tours, and they say they're going to use your money to at least repair the graves that are in so bad condition that they can fall. There are some graves that it's a big picture for an Instagram picture, like this grave that's ruined, the spider webs. But well, the heritage of the cemetery is in great risk. It's difficult to maintain a place where there's just the people and no one else cares. So most of the activity you see that takes place here, tours, like it's just tourists. Do they actually bury people here? Yes. Some graves are still used by families. They told me, I didn't count them, but more or less 20% of the graves are in a ruined state, abandoned. The rest are used by families, still use the graves, and they're responsible, and they commit with what the title of the property title says. There's no more room for a new mausoleum, but the mausoleums have room inside. Now that cremation is more usual since the 1960s among Catholics. There's much more room that you can do inside graves. So funerals usually take place in the morning during weekdays. Between 7 and 9 a.m. the tourists cannot get inside. They're not very often. Sometimes they can take place in the afternoon if the family wants, and we're doing a tour and we'll see a funeral. But I haven't seen one for years. I mean, during my tour, they only did take place. Okay. Well, everybody. So we're going to take a look at this woman here. Again, while I talk, I'm going to come closer and take a picture of the signature of the artist. I mean, whatever. This is Rufina Cambaceres. Rufina Cambaceres at the age of 19 years old in 1902. What happens to Rufina? Rufina, there's the obituary, there's the magazine Caras y Caretas. It's found by death, celebrating her 19th years old birthday in her mansion in the long street of the neighborhood of Barracas, Buenos Aires, where some families had some mansions, among them family Cambaceres. Eugenio Cambaceres, her dad, was an important politician, landowning elite. He wrote many books, and they were celebrating her birthday. Afterwards, they were going out, so she goes upstairs to change her clothes, and she never comes back. They go upstairs, they knock the door, she's not answering. They get worried, they get into the room, and they find her lying on the floor. She just died in sudden death. You know, I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic, but you know, you never know what the time will come. Some people die very, very fast. Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. This this was 1902, so I know there's many more things we can detect now, but I know there's some silent diseases or issues in your heart or somewhere else. Thank you very fast. I'll take it to the doctor. It's not now that we're gonna come closer.
That's Rufina Cambaceres. She has a very sad story about her passing.
She got married to a man called
I will tell you that story when I see you. But that's what she was very if she rests.
To ski in the Alps in Europe. Now what's about the dog? You didn't mention any dog. What's the dog doing there? If you look close to the dog, it says at the feet, Sabu, loyal friend of Liliana. Sabu was his name. Liliana had a dog called Sabu that happens to die the same day that she died in Austria, in the city of Buenos Aires. I mean, they died the same day, separated by thousands of kilometers. So, was that a coincidence? No, it's up to you. If you believe there was some bond or something that connected them. But the curiosity that they died the same day. That's why 2 years after, when the father was doing the statue, commissioning the statue, they decided to do family pets, which was very unusual at that time to represent. It was a private job, sorry. So we now in a minute we're gonna go see for now a third young woman with a tragic death or with a tragic ending. In this case, after that she died actually. And we're gonna see the most famous. We're gonna see in a minute. We're gonna go see Eva Perón. Eva Perón is a bit challenging to tour, right?
Let me go back to the hotel.
But she's located in a very narrow corridor, like the wife of President Juan Domingo Perón. Juan Domingo Perón was the most popular political leader in the Argentine history, the most popular president. He changed the way you regulate work or labor, with the idea that the state has to be powerful, has to create a sovereign country by controlling crucial aspects of the life of the citizen.